going on, everyone? Welcome back to Cutthroat Go with me, Josh. It's going to be a very informal shave. I'm not going to have my public speaking hat on today. Was chilling with my cousin. Cheers. Got a little Modelo. Anyway, was chilling with my cousin Rob the other day, and I received a bunch of razors from Noname Bear. And I'm going to do a quick shave here with two of the edges that he put on. This is his Zulu Gray. I'm going to test that on the right side of my face. And for the left side, I have this. This is his Cotty Edge. I believe these are both Wade & Butchers, from what he was telling me. These seem like the two full hollow grind. Yeah, that's definitely a full hollow grind right there. And let me show you. Yeah, that's definitely a full hollow grind. The other two razors are wedges. But I'm going to shave with these because I'm essentially going to put my own edges. I'm going to put Vermont Green Slate and Les Patas Codicule edge on those. And I'm going to try not to say 1,000 times today. Got my soap soaking. I'm going to be using, for my soap today, this Summer Vibes. This is from Adopted Acres Soap, and I'm trying to read. Let me just put my glasses on, excuse me. I'm old, I can't read. So this is sunflower, sea salt, coconut, tobacco, and cedarwood. And I tell you what, I fucking love this scent. It's really nice. You know, I'm sorry I'll always foul mouth and stuff, but I really don't want my channel to be one of these marketing channels. You know, one of these channels trying to do some weird stuff. Like, I just want my people to come to my channel because they want to be here. And that's probably why I've only hit, like, I think like 80 subscribers in a year. Because I don't give a fuck. I'm not trying to be a fucking institution. I'm not trying to be something that I'm not. I'm a very niche person. I'm a very secluded person. Definitely a bit introverted. But anyway, I'm going off topic. I'm going to try these edges out, and for my brush today, I'm actually using this. This is a black boar knot that I got off of my cousin, and I actually just got done trimming this with scissors. This soaked overnight in some hot water. I think I changed this out like 4 or 5 times with some soap. I used Black Diamond from Subtle Art Soap just to remove all of the animal oils off of it. So I'm going to be using that and see how that works. Doesn't seem to want to splay yet, but it does feel soft. So I don't know. I'll see how that goes. But yeah. Let me start jabbering. Stop jabbering and get into this shade. And for all of you who are like, oh, he's got a beer. Yeah, on my days off, I will allow myself to have about 2 beers a day. But I only drink on my days off, and when I drink, I don't have any more than 4, which I've only done once or twice. Because once I get to that 3rd beer, I'm just like, ugh. Head spinning, and I know that the next morning is going to be kind of a pain in the ass. Oh. But yeah, I gotta say, these Adopted Acres soaps, they're quality, man. I know that Eric and the gentleman who owns this company are friends, and I gotta say, if I'm not using an Eric-based tallow soap, I'm definitely using Adopted Acres. And that is pretty pasty, and I gotta say, this brush is pretty brutal. But you know, all of my boar brushes have been brutal for about the first month. Gotta be honest though, this kind of feels like something I'd use to scrub a pan with. And I don't know, maybe after a month or so, it'll get a bit better. It's not that it's harsh. It's not harsh. It is soft, just the splay, I think, is what's messing me up. And I don't expect it to be a mop and just, you know, mop my face, because I do not do that type of exfoliation. That's why I kind of like my Badger Boar mixes. They exfoliate very well. But I mean, look at this Adopted Acres soap. I mean, it's effortless. It builds a very nice lather. I really like his soaps. And I'm sorry I can't remember his name. I had a couple people like Joe and Eric, who are soap manufacturers, contact me in my comments and be like, oh, I love his soap. I still haven't memorized his name, but it is Adopted Acres. It is a tallow, beef tallow based soap. And honestly, I said it before, I'll say it again. His scents are very balanced. They're not overpowered. And I really enjoy them. So if you're looking for a new soap to try that's beef tallow based, I highly recommend Adopted Acres. Just clean myself up here a little bit, and we'll get into these edges. So the first one I'm really curious about is this, and that's the Zulu Gray edge. My cousin told me he really liked it, and I've honestly been looking at the stones from the manufacturer for a minute, and I really want to order one. I just haven't felt the edge from it. Supposedly Trevor from Wolf Blades finishes with this stone, but I think his synthetic progression, I'm just going to put a little bit more water on, his synthetic progression kind of takes away from what the actual stone is. And I know that Rob Noname Bear is very, very versed on imparting the character of the stone with his finishing stones. So let's see how this goes. I know it's going to be good because it's from Rob. Woo! Yeah, that is good and keen, that's for sure. Been a hot minute since I had a full hollow blade on my skin as well. That's pretty good. I'll tell you, that's very comfortable. I'm liking the audio feedback because I haven't been feeling that or hearing that recently. Now that's an interesting edge. Just from those couple strokes, I'll tell you, it definitely doesn't feel like a slate. Perhaps closer to a shale edge. Very comfortable though, very comfortable. It's not like a hyper keen edge, but it is very sharp. I don't know. Excuse me, that bear. I kind of feel like this is in my wheelhouse. It doesn't have the same smoothness as a slate edge, but it has a keenness that's very comfortable. It's not over keen. I would actually, my Vermont slate is kind of a unicorn stone, and I know some people have told me, oh, it's not the stone, it's the honer. My stone is a little bit harder than your average Vermont slate, which makes it seem like I'm doing a better job, in my opinion, than I am. But Hope you guys like ska. Honestly, this is very similar to my Vermont Slate Edge, as I'm dragging it across my face. But like I said, there is a missing smoothness to the edge, and maybe it's just a little bit duller. I'm sorry, maybe my Vermont Slate is just a bit duller than this type of edge, which lends it a little bit more comfortability. It's a very keen edge, very, very keen. That was 2 days growth, and it tore it down like it was nothing. And for a full hollow to do it in that fashion, in my opinion, is a win-win. A lot of times with my full hollows, I'm buffing a lot. Yeah, I mean, it's hyper keen. It is definitely sharp as a fucking, I don't know, mermaid's fucking pussy. I'm gonna have to edit that out. It's definitely sharp. I'll tell you this, it definitely feels nothing like the edge that I got from Trevor on my last blade. It feels like a natural stone. It doesn't have a synthetic bite to it. Really enjoyable, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, looks like I had a little ingrown or something. Very comfortable though, and I know these stones are around $100, so I think I might have to order one. I've been looking at them for about 2 months. Gotta say, I really like the ring to this blade. I wish it had a little bit more of a smile, but this is definitely a cool little Wade and Butcher. And I know I was supposed to do one side of my face with one razor and one side with the other, but honestly, I kind of got over exuberant. I've been waiting to try a Zulu edge, like a true Zulu edge, and this is the first one I've been sent. And I want to thank you, Rob, because you didn't have to let me try these razors. You could have just sent them to my cousin and gotten them back, so thank you, bro. So, next up, we're going to do the next pass with this, and this is Noname Bear's Codicule Edge. Moving along, I'm going to take the ska music out so I can really hear what's going on with this edge for the second pass. Because even though I love a super keen edge, my original love was with 8K edges off of my codicules. And I say 8K just because there's definitely a little bit of that oil left in there. I'm going to have to soak this brush a little bit more. Kind of smells like a fucking pig's ass still. But my original edges that I was actually honing myself were closer to 5 and 8K edges. Just because, you know, when you first start off, you think you're getting your razors keen, but it takes practice, it takes dedication, and it takes, I think, trying other people's edges to really grade and find out what you're doing with your honing and whatnot. Alright, this is splaying a little bit easier, but man, I gotta really like put some muscle into getting it to splay. Let me just keep adding water. One thing I do love about these Adopted Acres soaps is they will take water for days. It takes a lot to wash out these soaps. And I appreciate that because y'all know I like my lathers very wet and very slick. Anyway, but yeah, I was lucky when I got into the hobby. I did it with my cousin, and my cousin had some stones at his disposal that automatically kicked up the edge to, you know, 12 and above, 15K, yada yada yada. So it gave me a sort of a control, a baseline to work off of with my honing, and gave me a clear definition of what sharp was. Sometimes if you're doing this alone, or you don't have friends and other people to send you edges to compare yours to, you kind of think you're doing well, but then, you know, you find out through someone else's edge and someone else's work, you're just doing kind of okay. So my first edges were questionable. They were 5 to 8K, and I still love a codicule edge, man. I'd say codicules max at like 10 to 12K, and let's see what his edge is like. Okay, definitely a full hollow razor. Does not want to go through the stuff on my chin. Definitely needs some buffing, but I'll tell you what, that is a codicule edge. Hands down, that is a codicule edge. It feels very comfortable. And not for nothing, I think that's why I kind of fell in love with that codicule edge when I was first starting. It's an inviting edge. It doesn't grab at anything. It doesn't feel like you're going to just tear a piece of your face off. It's sharp, but it's not sharp to the point where it's just scary. And honestly, I'll always love a Cotacule edge for that factor right there. It's just an inviting, comfortable edge. Could you mess yourself up? Yeah, but only if you're being a douchebag, trying to rush, using the wrong angle, using too much pressure. Ah, Rob. It's a very nice Cotacule edge, my dude. I'm sorry. Noname Bear. Very nice Cotacule edge. Very comfortable. Super, super comfortable. And like I said, just easy to shave with because it doesn't feel over keen. It doesn't feel like a J-knot edge where everything it touches it wants to stick to. But I gotta say, I've kind of grown more accustomed to a J-knot edge, and I do like the way it takes zero pressure to use a J-knot edge. But I also appreciate how a very keen Cotacule edge requires just a tiny bit of pressure, but it's like a comfortable amount. Yeah. I mean, just super comfortable. Really nice edge, Rob. So with this razor, I am going to continue with the Cotacule theme, and I'm going to send him my Les Petas Cotacule. And we all know Rob doesn't shave on video, so I'll have to wait for an email to see what he thinks about it, but we're going to exchange a Cotacule for a Cotacule. Excuse me, I need a little drink. A little sip of the Modelo. And yes, I have been drinking a little bit on my days off. I never have more than 2 beers, and the few times I have had more than 2, and I need to hydrate again, it's usually 3. And I think I've had 4 beers once or twice, but after I hit 3 beers, I know the next day I'm going to feel it, and I don't enjoy that feeling anymore. For me, I was a very hardcore liquor drinker. Oh, it's very comfortable. Very comfortable edge. But yeah, I was a hardcore liquor drinker. Bourbon. Bourbon was my liquor of choice, and if I didn't have money for bourbon, I would go to vodka, and I would drink vodka by the gallon. And I would go through a gallon of vodka in maybe 48 hours. But I'm really, really stoked that I kind of roped in my drinking, you know? I'm not familiar with this razor, so it's a little tough for me to use some of my standard angles and processes, but that is a really comfortable edge, Rob. So like I said, with this Codicule edge, I'm going to send him a Codicule back. It's going to be my Les Pathos. And with the Zulu Gray, I'm going to basically tear that back to a Cody and put my JNet edge. Oh, I'm sorry, not my JNet, my and yes, I do my sideburns by feel most of the time. I'm going to send him another slate. I'm going to send him my Vermont green. People tell me they like it, but sometimes I think people are just kind of posturing. And I hope Rob sends me an honest opinion of my green slate edge. I know a lot of guys in this community get burnt when you say bad things about them, and I can tell you that's not how brotherhood works. Brotherhood works where you love someone enough to tell them when they're fucked up, when they're wrong, and you know, honesty is always the best policy, right? A lot of people in this community don't go with honesty. They hold their opinions for their, you know, Facebook group chats and all this bullshit. Definitely a new stroke for me. And you can hear my neighbor talking to his kids. But yeah, a lot of guys are disingenuous and just won't say their true opinions for fear of offending someone. You know, I can honestly say you'll never see that on my channel. If I don't like something, my mother taught me, you got nothing good to say, don't say nothing at all. So I won't say nothing at all. But I'll tell you what, you step on my toes, you come out the side of your neck at me like some people have, I'll let you know. You know, there's a certain person in this community who thinks he's the god of lather. Came into one of my videos talking about this timeless brush and how he doesn't like the way certain knots sit in it. And I appreciate his opinion. But at the same time, I didn't ask for it. If I don't have a positive comment, I usually don't leave a comment. But some people think their opinions are just so valuable, or that they have so much clout in the community that they can just come out the side of their neck at people. And honestly, some of you might know who I'm talking about, and I don't give a fuck. Like I said, my mother taught me, if you don't have anything good to say, just keep your mouth shut. But no, these people get X amount of followers and likes and what have you, and they just think they can just come out the side of their neck at people, especially people coming into the hobby. And not for nothing, that might be another fucking factor why people don't like this hobby, is because a lot of people are fucking opinionated. And especially with these forums, oh man. Yeah, honestly, I think I'm going to get a Zulu Greystone. This is really nice. Not that I need one. Like I already said, this is very similar to a shale, but for around $100. It's not a crazy investment like some of the Cody tools. So I think I might get one. But yeah, these forums, and the guys involved in these forums, honestly, they make me sick. They're just echo chambers. And if you're not echoing the same message everyone else is echoing, they automatically want to like shun you or basically control your free speech. I mean, good on them. They want an echo chamber, give them a fucking echo chamber, but I find it impetuous. And that's not to say that every forum is like that. I'm sure there are some good forums. But I mean, honestly, forums, subreddits, the shit's so fucking antiquated. But yeah, I'm kind of getting sick of this whole online community for shaving. Especially on YouTube, you know. I've got, I think, like 80 something subscribers. And I have about 10 to 12 guys that comment on my videos. And I'm happy. I'm good with that. Then you have other people who want to, you know, reach the thousands. I mean, good on them for being go-getters, but I'll never understand it. Like I said, I've always been a rather introverted person. And I'll tell you what, when I go to bed, the last thing I'm thinking about is other people's opinions of me and what I'm doing. Ah, that's a nice edge, man. Definitely feels like a shale, though. But yeah, again, I'm really comfortable. Saying these things that some people may be thinking or wanting to say, because I don't care. Am I trying to grow my channel? No, not really. I put my videos out for anyone who's interested, and if someone's not interested, I really don't care. I'm sure some of the comments I made in this video are going to get some people all fucking butthurt, like, oh, that's my boy, don't talk about my boy like that, don't put him on blast. You know what? He didn't have to come into my fucking comments and talk out the side of his neck. He made that decision, and I'm calling him on it, you know? Maybe he should stick to his smoker and getting fat. Because honestly, I don't care how much clout you think you have. Don't come out the side of your neck at me. I don't give a fuck. I'm the person who spent a decade of his life overseas fighting for his right to act like an absolute petulant child. And I don't give a fuck. Rob, that Zulu Gray, that's a nice edge, man. This Cotty, super keen. Enjoyed it, man. I only hope that you enjoy the edges I send you as much as I just did, the ones that you let me try. And again, thank you for letting me try them. Alright guys, wash my face. And I think I'm just going to do some witch hazel. I'm going to get the oopsie stick and just hit my chin. And let that dry. And that should stop it from bleeding on my pillows tonight. But anyway, that was a shave. Gotta say, again, Robert, Zulu Gray, really comfortable ordering one of these stones. And your Cotty edge, amazing. I don't know what Cotty you used on this necessarily, but definitely a Cotty edge, definitely comfortable. Appreciate you letting me checking them out. And for everyone else, hey, cheers guys. Have a good week. This is my Sunday. I'm sure it's your Tuesday, but have a good one guys.